Hello, sacred soul of Scorpio. I know you don't do things for attention. You never have. When you love, it's deep. When you give, it's real. And when you decide to help someone, you do it from a place so quiet, so intimate, that not even those closest to you might know it ever happened. But heaven does. God does. And that single act, the one no one saw, the one you told no one about, is now echoing through every corner of your reality. There was a moment, Scorpio, when your intuition spoke, and instead of ignoring it, and you followed it, maybe it was a gesture, a message, an offer of help you didn't have to give, but you gave anyway. You didn't post about it. You didn't wait for praise. You just did what your spirit told you was right. And because of that, something sacred was activated in the unseen. That kind of selfless kindness doesn't disappear. It doesn't fade. It creates ripples that bend time and bend fate. And those ripples, they're returning to you now, multiplied. You might have noticed things shifting lately. Not loudly, not dramatically, but undeniably. Attention loosening, a weight lifting, opportunities appearing that you didn't ask but feel perfectly timed, people treating you differently, more gently, doors opening without you needing to knock. That's not random. That's what it looks like when divine favor begins to rearrange your path. Scorpio, your strength has always been in what's hidden, your ability to see beneath the surface, to feel what others don't say, to move in silence. But now, the universe is rewarding that very silence, not by giving you a spotlight, but by guiding you into spaces where your soul will feel seen, honored, and received in ways it never has before. That moment of quiet kindness was not just a small gesture, it was a spiritual declaration of who you are. And God is responding in kind. So if things start flowing more easily, if people start showing up with offers or confessions or support, if you begin to feel a sense of peace that you can't explain, know this: it's because that act of love, done when no one was watching, is being answered now, not with noise, but with alignment, with blessing, with truth. Keep being you. Scorpio, the world doesn't need to see every good thing you do. It just needs you to keep doing them. Because God sees, God remembers, and when it's time, as now, it all returns. And here's the part you need to understand. Scorpio, there is a law, ancient and invisible, woven into the fabric of this universe. A law that doesn't operate by logic or reward systems we can measure. It works through energy, through intention, through truth. When you act from a place of pure love, when your motive is simply to help, to heal, to lift someone without asking for anything in return, you send out a vibration. That vibration doesn't vanish into the void. It moves. It travels. It touches places and people you'll never see. And then, in ways you could never predict, it circles back, not just as a single blessing, but as a flood of favor, perfectly timed, deeply personal, indéniablement divine. That's what's happening now. That one act of kindness done in secret, done in sincerity, opens something in the spiritual realm. You didn't just help someone, you planted a seed in a higher dimension. And now, that seed is blossoming, not in the exact form you gave it, but multiplied, transformed, pressed down and overflowing. Because the universe, Scorpio, never forgets what is done from the soul, and neither does God or for in flesh. So if life starts getting lighter, if unexpected support starts finding you, if you feel more seen without needing to be loud, know this: you're not lucky. You're aligned. You're receiving what was always meant for you. And it's only the beginning. For Scorpio, The return of this sacred energy will arrive in different ways depending on the soul path you carry, marked not just by your essence, but by the exact moment you were born under the sign of transformation. If you were born between the 23rd of October and the 1st of November, the blessings will arrive through your sense of purpose and spiritual depth. Something will click. A truth you've long carried in your bones will rise to the surface. And suddenly, the path ahead will become clearer. You'll understand why certain people left, why certain doors closed, and why your sensitivity has always been your greatest power. You are being drawn back to your soul's original assignment. For those born between the 2nd of November and the 11th of November, the ripple of that hidden kindness will move through your relationships. A connection is forming or returning, not just to love you, but to recognize you. Someone who sees past your defenses, past your strength, into the quiet, raw parts of you. This isn't a fleeting romance, it's someone who values your complexity and brings out your softness, not your survival mode. And for Scorpios born between the 12th of November and the 21st of November, the transformation will unfold in the realm of career, voice, and influence. New doors are opening not by force, but because they've been waiting for your readiness. A role, a project, a platform will appear that allows you to use your past pain, your healing, and your intuition as tools to guide others. You are being asked to step up, not louder, but truer, to lead, not with power, but with presence. No matter your birth date, Scorpio, the common thread is this: something you gave in secret is now returning to reshape your life in the exact area where your soul most longed for breakthrough. You didn't just change someone else's path, you changed your own. And now, it's time to receive. And now, Scorpio, the response from the divine is quietly unfolding around you like dawn breaking through fog. The energy surrounding you is no longer the same. It's subtler, lighter, and yet more alive. There's movement where there used to be stillness. There's flow where there once was resistance. Doors that had long been closed, doors you may have even given up on, are beginning to creak open. Not all at once, not loudly, but unmistakably. You may find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting people whose presence feels faded. Opportunities are appearing that weren't part of your plan, yet somehow fit perfectly into the life you didn't even know you were building. These aren't coincidences. They are confirmations, echoes of the divine, returning to you the energy you once sent out in silence. This is the universe's language. It speaks through alignment, through timing, through moments that make your intuition say, yes, this is mine. Ilem, Scorpio, God saw what you did when no one was watching. And now, that unseen moment is manifesting as protection, favor, and elevation. You may notice things working out for you without explanation, conflicts dissolving, delays turning into redirections, obstacles making way without you having to push. That's not luck. That's grace. You've entered a new frequency, one where the weight you've been carrying doesn't need to come with you, one where your past doesn't define your worth, only refines your wisdom. And in this new space, you are not chasing, you're attracting, because what you gave out in quiet is returning with divine volume. And every step forward now is guided by something greater than you, but that deeply knows you. So now, Scorpio, you begin to sense it not in fireworks or grand announcements, but in the subtleties. The shift is already here, humming beneath the surface of your days. You're waking up with a calm you can't explain, a peace that doesn't come from your circumstances, but seems to rise from somewhere deeper, somewhere eternal. Even in the midst of uncertainty, you're no longer gripping so tightly. You're breathing differently, trusting differently. That's not accidental. That's alignment. You might start to notice strange timing, the kind that feels too precise to be random. An email arrives just when you're thinking of giving up. A conversation you didn't expect turns into an invitation. Someone brings your name up in a room you weren't even in. This is divine choreography. Scorpio. It's the evidence that the energy you once released in silence is returning now. Not just as blessing, but as guidance. And watch how people start to seek you out, not for shallow things, but for depth, for insight, for comfort, for truth. They feel something in you, even if they don't know what to call it. It's the residue of healing, the authority of someone who chose light when no one else could see the struggle. They may come asking for help, partnership, or simply to be near your energy, and this too is part of the shift. You're being positioned not to impress, but to influence, not to be the loudest, but to be the most anchored. These are the signs that your life is no longer being run by the same script. The story is changing, and the proof is not just in what's happening outside, it's in how you feel on the inside. Steady, still, powerful without needing to dominate, clear without needing to explain. That is how you know your soul has grown. That is how you know what you gave in love is returning. So here's what I want you to carry with you now. Scorpio, not just as a reminder, but as a quiet vow between your soul and the divine. Keep doing good, even when no one sees. Keep extending your hand, offering your heart, speaking truth, holding space. Not because it's noticed, not because it's rewarded, but because it's right, because it's who you are at your core. You don't need an audience for your compassion to matter. Heaven has already recorded every gesture, every moment you chose integrity over ego, every time you loved when you had every reason not to. And while the world may overlook those moments, God never does. He sees, He remembers, and in divine time, He responds with favor that fits no formula, with blessings that stretch far beyond what you thought you deserved. You're not just being blessed, Scorpio, you're being transformed into a blessing. Your life is becoming a wellspring from which others will draw strength, clarity, healing, and not because you sought that role, but because you earned it. Quietly, through every unseen act of love. That is the sacred reward, not just to receive light, but to become it. So keep walking, keep giving, keep trusting. The return is already on its way, and it's bigger than anything you could imagine. And so, Scorpio, as we close this message, I want you to pause and feel it not just in your mind, but in your body, in your breath, in your spirit. You are standing at the edge of something sacred, not because everything is perfect, but because something real has awakened within you. That quiet act of love, the one no one applauded, is being honored in ways only the divine could design. This isn't the end of your story. It's the moment your story starts to speak back. The world around you is shifting because you shifted, you led with your soul, and now the universe is following your lead. So as you go forward, remember, your power was never in being loud, it was in being true. Your strength was never in being seen, it was in seeing others with love. And your reward will never come from the crowd, it will come from God. In moments that feel too perfect to be anything else, keep choosing kindness. Keep walking in truth. Keep being the light that doesn't beg to shine but simply does. Your blessings aren't coming. They're already here. And this Scorpio is just the beginning.